Good evening, wrestling fans, all of you wrestling fans out there in the famous world of YouTube. This is Jughead82 with a wrestling report of TNA Impact. TNA Impact went live. Yeah, TNA Impact went live. Was it good, bad, or just plain old ugly? Well, let's kick off TNA with Sting taking on the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I repeat, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Bobby Roode. Rude. Who wins the match? Sting, the icon. Now, I'm a huge Sting fan. I've always been a huge Sting fan ever since his days in WCW. But I really and truly feel this match that it just wasn't right for Sting to win. First of all, you have Bobby Roode, who is the fucking heavyweight champion of the world. You have Sting. I personally liked it when they had Sting as like, a little bit like he was running the company a little bit. That fitted it. It was perfect. But we already know what happened with that situation. Brother. But he loses the match. Now this is what makes it even worse. Hogan comes out. By the way, with that Brooke Hogan, I'm going to get with that Brooke Hogan. I sound like the Brooke Hogan. Brooke Hogan. But anyway, I'm going to get to that after I say this. Hogan comes out, and he sits there and says, well, brother, I'm going to make an impact and all this stuff. And basically made an impact. He put Bobby Roode versus Sting for the TNA World Heavyweight title at Slammiversary. This is going to be awesome. And by the way, the TNA crowd, it was a live crowd. But they have to be slow. Just, I don't know. But trust me, there are a bunch of people in that crowd that didn't like some of the decisions going on tonight at TNA. First thing is, we look at with TNA Wrestling was the Brooke Hogan thing. I didn't want to say shit about it, but I'm going to say something about it. I'm going to say it, I'm going to lay it out there, I'm going to put it on the table. I don't like it. It's garbage. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I think the only reason that Brooke Hogan is in TNA right now is because Hogan felt that maybe his daughter is not making money or doing anything or music and shit. So go give her a job at TNA. And Dixie Carter stuff. She's talking about this women's power and shit. Man, fuck that. They're trying to sit there and basically just shove Brooke Hogan down everyone's throat. And I personally don't like it. I don't agree with it. I think it's bullshit because you have so many wrestlers and so many women's wrestlers that could do a whole lot better. They don't need nobody over the women's division at TNA. They just need the women to have the time to develop as women wrestlers for that company. You sitting there bringing in a person that, and they sitting there making say, oh yeah, Brooke Hogan, she has a history about wrestling. She doesn't have a history of shit. Hulk Hogan wrestled, and yeah, she was probably at some events and shit, but she doesn't have an inside thing about what wrestling and this and that. She might have just a little bit more than me, but what was the point of bringing in Brooke Hogan? Even some of the fans in the crowd, well, the crowd I say was kind of slow. There was people in the crowd that was bored and shit. I said there's a couple of smart people that was in that crowd that night. Tonight, I said that night. They were booing her, and I could tell it looked like she was going to break down. And I'm not going to sit there and try to kick the woman a lot, but it's the reality of it is she doesn't need to be in TNA. She doesn't need to be in a wrestling ring. That's just not right. It's idiotic to me. So, Brooke Hogan, no TNA, no. We got the gut check thing going on in TNA. That's with the Human Suplex Machine Taz. Al Snow. What is everybody on? Yeah. And Bruce Pritchard. Well, Brother Love. I love you. And yeah, they're basically scouting wrestlers out for TNA. And about this situation, there was this guy named Joey Ryan. Taz chewed his ass out, basically letting him know that he is not deserving to be in TNA because he cut a badass, not really good promo. Yeah. Coming from the Human Suplex Machine of commentary, he didn't talk right. So, but now we look at the two matches I feel tonight that were pretty good. First match we had up was a really awesome match with Austin Aries taking on Chris Sabin. This was a really great match. By the way, with the Alex Shelley situation, if you guys didn't know, Alex Shelley let his contract run out. He's no longer with TNA. And you could tell, I could tell looking at Chris Sabin, he just looked like he was like, fuck, what the fuck am I still here for? I should leave too because TNA, I mean, TNA is a great wrestling company. It has a lot of potential, but when you constantly try to sit there and do things wrong, and I do mean wrong, like repetitive shit, trying so much to be like the WWE. Oh yeah, and here's another thing about trying to be so much like the WWE about that. I'm jumping gun to different subjects, but here's another thing being like WWE. TNA has a Hall of Fame coming out. 10 years. TNA has been celebrating the 10th anniversary. And they're going to come out with a Hall of Fame. Who will be inducted into this luxurious Hall of Fame? TNA, yeah, 10 years. And in that 10 years, you guys done a lot of great things. Putting a Hall of Fame out there, and it begs to differ. Who will be in the Hall of Fame? Will it be Jeff Jarrett? Haven't seen him on TV in a minute. Maybe Jarrett. Or just the Jarretts in general. Or could it be, I don't know, maybe that shake hand deal that TNA had with WWE to let Ric Flair appear on the Hall of Fame? Maybe they probably going to induct Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Or who knows? Personally, I think it's too soon to have a Hall of Fame TNA because you really need to focus on one thing at a time. You're throwing too many things on your plate. You're going to not be able to eat all your food up if you will. If you will, you ain't going to be able to eat it all up. Trust me. Focus on your product. And I'm going to say this with TNA. They had a great main event with AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. I'm going to say this about that match as well as the match with Austin Aries and Chris Sabin. Those matches were short compared to the Sting and Rude match. And I really do feel that they could have cut the Sting and Rude match in half a little bit and gave time to the other guys, the good matches that were on the card. I just don't understand why TNA feels the need to constantly keep shoving, Hogan Brothers and Sting. Sting, like I said, I respect both these guys. Hogan, Hulkamaniac through and through. But it's a conspiracy. The same thing when Brooke Hogan came out there. It's a conspiracy. Nobody's telling me shit. I think it could be Vince McMahon is secretly shaking hands with Dixie Carter to get TNA out of business. Therefore, WWE will be the only profit. Because it seems like TNA is doing so much dumb shit right now that their company is pretty much fluttering there. And then, it's a new time slot. Okay, TNA and WWE are making revolutions right now. WWE is going to 3 hours. Congrats. But will that 3 hours be good? Who knows? Will it be the same shit we've been seeing? But the only thing is they expand on the storylines more, which will be good. It'll be good. But will they ignore the fact that there are other wrestlers that can have TV time? Who knows? TNA going 2 hours live. This could be a good thing or it could be a really shitty thing. But if they are constantly going to be in that impact zone, it's going to be shitty because you need to move around. They were doing it very frequently, once a month and shit. You need to get out of the impact zone because what you're doing is you're basically making your product boring. Because trust me, when I watch wrestling, I watch the matches, I like the wrestling, but it's cool to see different arenas. Plain and simple. Hell, WCW, even when they were looking like shit at the last year of their company, they still were able to go to different places. And of course, maybe they taped twice in one place or whatever for Thunder, but they still were moving to different areas in the country. TNA, get your shit together. It's not going to work if you're going to constantly try to do your idea of what people feel is entertainment. It's not going to make what we see on TV every Thursday night appear better. And the weird thing about it is when I was watching wrestling tonight, I was looking at like everything that was going between stuff. I looked at, of course, they had the situation with Jeff Hardy. He was selected to basically take on Devon tonight for the television title. That match went clusterfuck because Rob Terry and Zack Ryder. That's a Zack Ryder. Well, that flunky, what the fuck he is, basically came out there and interfered in the match. So that match didn't go straight through. Not to say it was a spectacular match, but still, TNA, there's a bunch of flaws in your product right now, and it starts with how you sit up and build up different things in your company. First of all, if you have a heavyweight champion like Bobby Roode, you don't have him lose in the fashion he lost tonight. He's supposed to be the face for your company. He's supposed to be dominant. Don't make him look like shit in front of people. You've got people in that crowd that will cheer a dried up piece of shit in the ring because not to sit there and diss the people in the impact zone, but come on, man. It's not working. It's not working out. Get out the impact zone. Period. Now don't come back every now and then and just no, just get the fuck away from there. I'm just saying this to help you, TNA, because I've been watching TNA ever since its conception when it was coming on Wednesday nights on pay-per-view, when it was coming straight from the asylum in Tennessee. So I know about what TNA is and what it could be. But if you're going to constantly have Sting going for the heavyweight title and all that bullshit, Brooke Hogan, that's garbage, man. You don't need that right now for your company. What you need is to basically make your company what it can be. You have so much talent that can go heads up with the WWE. You need to know how to refocus what you need for your company. And we'll see how good Impact was when the ratings come in. When the ratings come in, we'll see whether or not it was that spectacular. That time drop is supposed to help build the ratings up, change it up a little bit because they're going to 7. And by it being live, you won't have too many spoilers, so it might build enough people's interest to want to watch TNA. But you got to be realistic, man. If you're going to sit there and do this same shit every week, you're going to constantly lose views. Nobody's going to want to watch that shit. I think I've rambled enough. All in all, there were 2 great matches on the card. The other matches were the whole by the way, the whole Joseph Parks bullshit. We all know it's a business. Stop fucking. They've been running this shit for about I don't know how many weeks now. We already know he's a business. Finish this shit. Hopefully it's Samiverse. So we have Joseph Park taking on Bubba Ray, which is basically a business taking on Bubba Ray. Yes, is there anything else I forgot to mention? I think that's it. But yeah, this is Jug Head 82 signing off. Hey, TNA.